The Wallace Line, nature's invisible border. Have you ever wondered why the animals of Asia and Australia are so different, even though these continents are relatively close? The answer lies in an invisible boundary known as the Wallace Line, a biogeographical divide discovered by British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace in the 19th century. This mysterious line separates the wildlife of Asia from that of Australia, creating one of nature's most fascinating barriers. What is the Wallace Line? The Wallace Line is an imaginary boundary that runs through Indonesia, specifically between the islands of Borneo and Sulawesi, and between Bali and Lombok. Wallace noticed that while the islands on the western side, like Borneo and Sumatra, had animals similar to those in Asia, the islands on the eastern side, like Sulawesi and New Guinea, had species resembling those in Australia. Despite being just 35 kilometers, 22 miles apart, islands like Bali and Lombok have completely different sets of animals. Why does this line exist? The main reason is geology and deep-sea trenches. The Wallace Line follows a deep ocean trench that has existed for millions of years, preventing animals from easily crossing between Asia and Australia. Even during the Ice Age, when sea levels were lower, the deep waters acted as a natural barrier, stopping land animals from migrating. As a result, evolution took different paths on either side of the line. This is further influenced by plate tectonics. The western islands were once connected to Eurasia, while the eastern islands were connected to Australia and the Pacific. The differences in wildlife. West of the Wallace Line, Asian side, rich with mammals such as tigers, elephants, rhinos, monkeys, and leopards. Birds include hornbills and peacocks. East of the Wallace Line, Australian side, home to marsupials like tree, kangaroos, cuscuses, and bandicoots instead of large mammals. Birds include cockatoos, birds of paradise, and cassowaries. Fewer placental mammals and no large predators like tigers. Modern implications and conservation. The Wallace Line is still relevant today in understanding biodiversity, conservation, and evolution. Even with human influence and the introduction of species across islands, the natural division remains strong. Conservationists study the Wallace Line to protect unique ecosystems and prevent invasive species from disrupting delicate balances. Conclusion. The Wallace Line is a fascinating example of how geography shapes nature. Even though animals can't see this invisible border, it has defined where they live for millions of years. Next time you look at a world map, remember that nature has its own hidden borders, just like the Wallace Line. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing science and nature content.